Medua.
Welcome to the Nigeria Presidential Nomination Debate, hosted by HD 44. Our candidates tonight: Senator Hassan Dimbo, Professor Rekia Waziri, Sinachi Ohams, and Tagama Bunde. I am Genevieve Osemodua. I will be your moderator. On today's debate, we have adopted a special format, which I'm sure and I'm aware that has been communicated to all the candidates prior to now. I will ask one candidate at a time, one question each. Each candidate has 1 minute to respond. And thereafter, all candidates may have an open conversation for 5 minutes within the guiding principles and rules of the debate. Meanwhile, we will begin with our opening statements. Senator Dimbo, let's have you start.
Thank you very much, moderator. Good evening, fellow Nigerians. My name is Senator Hassan Dimbo, and I'm running for the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria because anytime I look into the eyes of the suffering masses, tears come to my eyes. I can hardly eat. My wife will testify to this. I have served this country for the past 35 years. All these experiences have armed me with the knowledge of the actual problems we have in this country, and of course, the solutions to those problems. This also has made me the most qualified among all these my opponents put together. And that is why I want to ask you, Nigerians, if you want to give someone a job, would you employ someone with 35 years experience, or the one with 6 years experience, or the one who has no experience at all? Remember, people cannot give you what they do not have. Thank you.
It is so easy to talk about the suffering masses when you have a silver spoon in your mouth. And those who bear the brunt of this suffering are women and children. That is why the mission of our party is to ensure that we remove this blight from our nation. Furthermore, it is not only in the political sphere that we serve our nation. I have served this nation as a teacher across 6 governmental institutions for over 30 years, from primary to tertiary institutions. And I am currently serving as a politician, and I've been doing so for the past 6 years. But there is one question that I'm still trying to grapple with, which is the fact that why is it that in my 1 year as a serving politician, I have earned much more than I ever earned as a teacher in 30 years? It all boils down to equity and justice. And that is what I promise to give Nigerians if elected your president. Equity and justice.
Zina, it's your turn.
Thank you. I can assure you that we all have great plans on how we want to move this nation forward. But I wish the solution to the problems of this country is another great plan. Please permit me to play you this short clip. Unfortunately, this is the state of our dear nation. Now, what is the vision of the Nigeria Rebirth Party? Remove the hindrance that stops the free flow of the nation's rich resources to the masses who actually own them. And then we activate our sustainability plan. I mean, what's the use pouring water into a leaking vessel if you do not block that vessel first of all?
Madam Moderator, I suppose we came here for a debate and not a movie premiere.
Senator, you would agree that our invitation letter stated that candidates were allowed a brief media presentation to enhance their opening statements after being vetted by the committee. My apologies, Zina. Please, let's continue.
For someone with a pending criminal case of money laundering to stand before you here today and ask that you elect him president, it just goes to show what substandard system of government they have built around themselves and forced you and I to live in. But I want freedom. I want freedom for myself, for my family, for my children, and God willing, for generations yet to be born. And I'm sure you want that too. We can be great in this land. Because our land is green, but these giants would rather have us live as slaves. Which is why I stand here before you and I ask that you vote me in as your president, and together we will make Nigeria a country of our dreams.
You see, the problem with Nigeria's people is fear. Our fear is just too much. I mean, every person like this wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die, Sam. Our people used to sing one music, and it goes like this. Lion is a dangerous animal. If you pray with triumph, Lion go scatter you. She is a dangerous. Lion is terrible. She is wonderful. Lion is mystical. Lion is risky. She is scattered the danger. Thank you.
This man is a clown, I swear.
Wait, what's the name of this party again?
The name of our party is Fearless People's Party, FPP. That is why I'm calling on all Nigerian people. As you elect me as your president, it is that same fearlessness of a lion that I'm going to choke inside the chest of every Nigerian individual, so that together we can fight for the light of our country. Thank you very much.
Now to the first question, unemployment.
I will answer your question. But first, let me address an issue that was raised by someone here. Yes, is there a false case of money laundering against me? Yes. Were the EFCC and the courts able to prove me guilty of these false allegations? No. It is therefore very disheartening that haters will pay the press to write all sorts about me. And politically inexperienced and ambitious babies like Zina will cleave on to such nonsense to just end some very cheap point.
Call me whatever you want, Senator. It doesn't change the fact that your acclaimed 35 years of service to this country has brought nothing but shame, pain, and misery to the Nigerian people, and they deserve an apology. I'm going to talk about experience for a bit here, since we brought it up. Now, I'm from a polygamous home. My mother happens to be the last of 4 wives, and I'm the first child and first son.
Now I know where the arrogance stems from.
Of course, whenever the youth demands for what is actually theirs from the elders, they are termed arrogant. But given your wealth of experience, Senator, could you please tell us one thing that you have done to help move this nation forward? You were local government chairman for about 8 years. And up till now, your community has no electricity. Up till now. You were governor for 2 tenures, and under your leadership, we recorded 7 ethnic and religious battles and riots that claimed the lives of over 400 citizens. The worst record of any state, and not to talk about those that were displaced and injured. And as senator, what particular policy did you influence to the good or for the good of the Nigerian people? The agricultural sector only saw some light after you left.
Zina, this time slot was made for the senator.
Well, he pivoted towards me, and I'm just doing the honors. And if he actually had a solution to unemployment, he would have said it by now. It's all right, I could give him my allotted time, if that's what he so desires, as compensation, of course.
I believe the solution to our education challenge is very simple. Let us do an audit of, for instance, the federal institutions, and then compare them with global best practices and do a gap closure.
Yeah, basic responsibilities of leadership.
We will build more schools where there are none. equip them with state-of-the-art facilities, and then we will employ more teachers.
How can you employ more teachers when you haven't even put the structures in place to make sure that they are well remunerated and as at when due?
Believe me, 90% of our teachers need the training. How can a teacher fail the same test that she gives her own student? Honestly, these teachers need to be trained. If not, we are going to encounter a very tremendous educational somersault.
Apart from education, another priority that we have in our party is health, especially as it concerns women and children.
Agriculture is not a poverty alleviation occupation for the aging. We intend to make it lucrative and make it attractive to the young in our country.
My government will solve the problem of power within 12 months. You can take my word for it.
Nigerians people have heard that thing more than 1 million times. I mean, every time they hear that power belongs to the people, when common electrical power like this, they can never have. One time, a journalist was asking the minister, say, when will power come to the people? And the minister opened his mouth ajar like this and say, all power belongs to God. Imagine.
All right, I am sorry we have to move on from here. We are almost out of time.